missing some counselors. Who are we missing? You're zooming in? Okay. Greg? Greg's not here. Poor Greg. Hello? Okay. Okay, I think we're ready to start. It is 6:59. Mr. Forbes, should we wait for a 1-minute countdown? But while we're waiting, I can just introduce the head table. To my far right is Councillor Ramsey, Councillor Duffy, Councillor Alana Yankoff, who is also a member of the Planning Board, Councillor Julie McCabe, who is a member of the Planning Board, and to my immediate right, to your immediate left, or to your left, Councillor Terry McLeod, who is the new Chair of Planning, Development and Heritage, who was given the green light by a resolution last night. To my left and to your right is Councillor Terry Bernard, and at the end is Councillor Mitchell Tweel, who's also a member of the Planning Board. And coming in via Zoom, I believe we have, or by WebEx, we have Deputy Mayor Cody and Councillor Bob Duran. And I believe Councillor Greg Rivard is unable to make it tonight. So this is your team to adjudicate what's going on tonight. And I want to just start off that you will see that this is this is a request to amend Appendix A, but Councillor MacLeod will go into further detail on what it encompasses. There are 2 rooms, so I just want to give you a few ground rules. There are 2 rooms for this meeting, this room, and Ellen, do we have the room, the Georgian room downstairs? So this is all part of respecting COVID-19 protocol. This is the main room being the Victoria room and the overflow room being the Georgian room. And again, this is all related to COVID-19 protocol. Planning board members are present tonight. I see Bob Kenny. I see Chris Fournier. Is Rosemary Hebert? No, she's not here. Reg McGinnis is not here. And I believe coming in via WebEx is Basil Hambley and Shaylin Murray. So you'll see that we have 2 mics, and we do have hand sanitizers, wipes, masks are available if you wish to wear your mask. Water stations are available in each of the rooms, and hotel staff will clean the mics after every resident provides comments or asks questions. And now I'm going to turn it over to Councillor MacLeod just to read over some of the protocol or the rules of the meeting, and also to announce what the purpose of the meeting is tonight. Councillor MacLeod.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. So the order of event for each presentation, number 1, there will be a brief presentation by staff, followed by a presentation by the applicant. Council members will be allowed to ask questions of clarity, remembering not to give their opinion on the projects, as they are to remain neutral until the process is completed. The general public will be given an opportunity to speak, as the mayor had just said. Each participant will be provided with 5 minutes in which to provide their comments and to ask any questions they may have. We will start with residents who are at the main room here in the Victorian Ballroom, and then those at the overflow room, the Georgian Ballroom, and then proceed to WebEx participants. While a member of the public is speaking, others are asked to show respect and decorum to all participants. Maintain quiet and order. Refrain from disturbing the proceedings by words, gestures, or actions, including applauding, displaying flags or placards or similar material. Refrain from talking on electronic mobile devices, and ensure that all electronic devices are put on silent mode. So, for this evening's discussion, MacWilliams Road, PID number 684514. This is a request to amend Appendix A future land use map of the official plan for a portion of the subject property which accesses on MacWilliams Road, PID 684514, from medium-density residential to low-density residential, and from recreational to low-density residential. And amend Appendix G, the zoning map of the zoning and development bylaw for a portion of the subject property with access on MacWilliams Road, PID 684514, from low-density residential single R2S to narrow single detached residential R1N, medium-density mixed-use residential MUR to narrow single detached residential R1N, medium-density mixed-use residential MUR to low-density residential single R2S, medium-density mixed-use residential MUR to medium-density residential townhouse R3T, and medium-density residential townhouse R3T to narrow single detached residential R1N, in order to allow for the subdivision of 91 residential lots. And that, I'll pass it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and I believe Daryl McDonald are you Daryl? Daryl? You will be presenting on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Leroy McLeod, who's to your left. So do we want to start off with a presentation from the planning board? Okay. And that's Evan Brown. Yes, no relation.
Good evening, everyone. So here is a condensed version of the request on the right of the slide. And on the left of the map, the image shows the subject property outlined in black, with the current zoning shown in orange, which represents medium-density mixed-use residential, the MUR zone, in speckled white, representing the low-density residential single R2S zone, and in brown, representing the medium-density residential townhouse R3T zone. The current zones within the subject property have atypical boundaries. Typically, zones tend to follow property boundaries rather than change within a lot. The current zones are laid out this way due to a proposed future collector road as part of the East Royalty Master Plan, which was proposed to be built through this lot in the future. It was no longer, it was proposed to connect McRae Drive with East Royalty Road. This collector road is no longer feasible as originally proposed due to new development in the area and potentially offset roads. So going back to the map, the gray outlines within the subject property denote the approximate areas the proposed rezonings will encompass as per the call-out boxes. To avoid any confusion on the multiple rezonings that are concurrently going on, I'll explain the specific changes as they relate to the rezoning and the proposed subdivision by showing the current and proposed rezonings overlaid on the subdivision plan. So, firstly, this is the proposed subdivision plan for the lot on MacWilliams Road. In white across the top is the R2S zone. Most of these properties are already zoned as R2S, with a few requiring rezonings. In pink is the proposed rezonings to R1N. Finally, in red is the R3T zone. The green portion shown at the bottom is not within the boundary of the subdivision, and it's just adjacent green space. As a note, the subdivision plan shows a series of connected streets. From top to bottom, these streets will be an extension of Horseshoe Boulevard, Alice Avenue, and Holmes Lane. All resulting traffic will use these streets to connect to McRae Drive, and the portion of the lot with access to MacWilliams Road will not be accessible as per this survey plan. So this map is an overlay of the survey plan that you just saw with the current zonings in place as well as the proposed zonings in the colored boxes. So the darker teal outline right here. Shows the portion of the lot where the MUR zone will be is proposed to be rezoned to R2S. The purple outlines on the left and the right show the portions where the R2 zone is proposed to be rezoned into R1N. The light blue outline encompassing the middle of the property shows the portion where the MUR zone is proposed to be rezoned to R1N. And the yellow outline, this sliver right here, shows the portion where the R3T zone is proposed to be rezoned R1N. And then finally, this navy outline here shows the portion where the MUR zone will be rezoned R3T. So that is the request of this application for rezoning. And the applicant, Leroy McLeod, has a representative here to present on this application and answer any questions.
Good evening. I'm Darrell McDonald. I'm a resident of Horseshoe Hills. Live on the corner of McRae and Horseshoe Boulevard. I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to the Mayor and Council on behalf of the developer, Mr. McLeod, and also on behalf of myself, who is a resident of the neighborhood. The previous presentation kind of shows a bit of a dog's breakfast as far as the zoning is concerned, and so this application is to address that and as well the concerns of the community. So Horseshoe Hills subdivision is a high-quality neighborhood where residents have paid for premium lots, which include underground services, wide streets, specialized lighting, and it's a great neighborhood to raise our families or to retire to, which I am doing in the midst of both of those things. The quality of the homes and the development speak for themselves, with single-family and semi-detached dwellings all through the subdivision, and suitable for the environment that they're in. The current phase includes single-family homes, semi-detached, and single-family homes on narrow city lots. So those three types of housing are there. At the last planning meeting, comments were made about the narrow lot homes currently being built, and they're also included in this proposal that we're looking at this evening as well. So I want to address a few things about these homes in relation to a clearer understanding for the Mayor and Council, and also for anybody who may be following after me. These homes meet several needs within the city of Charlottetown. First off, they're ideal for our families. They are 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, full bathrooms, attached garage, front and back decks, and very high-quality finishes in an open concept. This meets the needs for those wanting to find their own home property here in Charlottetown, where they have their own lot and their own home as well. These narrow lot houses are also ideal for retired persons. Again, a high-quality home on your own property, part of a community with all the services you require, and space for visiting family and friends. They're also ideal for persons with mobility and access issues. Everything is on a single level on a number of these houses that are being built and the ones that are being proposed. Direct access through an oversized garage, and a home that can easily meet the needs of persons confined to wheelchairs and so on as required. Although the floor plan in the houses that are currently being constructed is a well laid out floor pattern, which some people may think is cookie cutter. Each house has a distinct and unique outer design and finish to fit with the surrounding neighborhood. This is in keeping with neighboring cities across, or numerous cities across North America, including Charlottetown. There's 12 distinct exterior designs, including roofline differences, cladding, and various changes between the houses. The internal floor plan is a specialized design that accommodates families as well as those with disabilities and various needs. And quite frankly, my own family. Actually, my in-laws are moving over here in a month's time, and that's the design that they're actually happy to be moving into when they saw it. It meets their needs, and they're both in their 80s. So it's certainly the type of home. And they did not want to leave their home, but due to health reasons and concerns, they're leaving their home. So these homes are meeting a lot of needs. Another need is the narrow city lots. They provide efficient use of land space while maintaining the highly sought-after dream of owning your own home and your own property. This provides for a solid tax base, which impacts everything that we do in this city and benefits East Royalty as a whole. The current zoning includes a large portion, and I'm going to just go ahead and have a look. So this is with townhouses, the same development scheme, but with the townhouses. And so the current zoning includes a large portion of land used for townhouses. The mixed approach is currently used in various places throughout the city, and certainly has some benefits. But in this case, it conflicts with the desire of the neighborhood residents for like similar properties in their neighborhood. They really want the new construction in this part of the subdivision to be in harmony with the neighborhood they already live in, and that's very important to the residents in the area. The ask is to reduce the zoning for these areas from R3T, allowing the neighborhood to continue to follow the current development plan of single homes, semi-detached, and narrow single detached homes in a well-planned neighborhood. Removing the zone allowing for townhouses will also alleviate some traffic concerns that I personally have, as well as my neighbors. And parking issues that we've seen in other developments, even a new development nearby where you see townhouses and there's one lot for someone to park in and other people are parking on the lawn and so on because of everything is being crammed in. And we want to avoid that in our neighborhood. So those are some of the concerns that the area residents feel, and they basically, in discussing with residents, they just don't feel the townhouses fit in with the neighborhood as it currently exists. So we are proposing a significant change to the townhouse side of things, but in keeping with the rest of the neighborhood, we're asking that that will be approved, that we would continue that way. Councillor McCabe, who faithfully and passionately represents the interests of the citizens in the area, spoke at a recent planning meeting about the council meeting the desires of the community residents, and I absolutely applaud her for her efforts in this area as a homeowner. I've invested my hard-earned money and effort into the property that I have in this subdivision. Mr. McLeod is a resident of the community. He has consulted with the residents of his own neighborhood throughout the development of this subdivision, including this new portion that is being requested here. And the residents of, our homes are quite expensive in the neighborhood for sure. We've invested a lot into them. We've made it clear that we do not want townhouses in the neighborhood or any kind of collector traffic from MacWilliams Road speeding down through our neighborhood to avoid the additional 2 roundabouts that are being added to St. Peter's Road, and that is a great concern of the neighbors. So we believe this addresses that, and Montgomery Heights is creating a significant amount of traffic on MacWilliams Road as it goes forward, and we certainly do not envision all that traffic being diverted down through Horseshoe Hills. So I'll speak personally about myself just for a moment. I live on the corner of McRae and Horseshoe. A good portion of that traffic comes down Horseshoe Boulevard right in front of my house. I'm happy to live with it the way that Mr. McLeod has designed this. But if it was ever opened up to traffic from another area to come down through, that would make it very difficult to remain in that area. Certainly, I think would drop the value of my investment and certainly the comfort that I currently enjoy living in the subdivision that I do. With all of this in mind, I am kind of passionate about the neighborhood that I live in, and I'm very happy with where we are, and I believe my neighbors are as well. So I do want to, if I could, bring to council, Mr. McLeod has with him, I believe, 52 signatures from residents who clearly indicated their support with the changes that are being proposed by Mr. McLeod. These residents don't want the current zoning to place townhouses in the community, negatively impacting their investments. They want the community to continue to remain in the manner that it is, with like type of housing in the area. The members of the neighborhood have purchased their properties, as I have, with the understanding that Mr. McLeod has planned to continue to build a community in which we can be proud. The quality of what currently exists there speaks for itself, and if you're wondering, take a drive up through there and you can see that it's different than the other neighborhoods that are around. A lot of attention to detail, and this is going back more than 10 years when this was planned. I'm sure Councillor McCabe will appreciate that we consulted with the area residents in this matter so she can proceed confidently in supporting this request, because we do have 52 signatures from the local people that live in the subdivision currently. What Mr. McLeod is bringing to council is a request to zone down an already approved zone in order to match the surrounding homes within the subdivision area and to reduce the constant turnover that sometimes we see townhouses generate. I'm confident a request to zone down is very rare to council and to planning in our current environment. Normally we would see a developer who's trying to zone up and pack more people into a small area and make more money at that, and this is not the desire of Mr. McLeod, or is it the desire of anybody in the neighborhood. We want to continue to see quality homes being built and meet the desires of various generations of islanders who really just want to own their own home. And right now, owning a home in Charlottetown is very difficult, and I believe that if we agree to this proposal and it goes ahead, we are going to be able to provide really good, high-quality housing for those people who are seeking to move here, and also people who currently live in Charlottetown or are wanting to own their own home and not be in a facility that's less than what they expect. So I want to urge the council to support this amendment to the zoning and approve this development plan on behalf of myself as a homeowner, my neighbors who surround me, and I want to thank you for your time. If you have questions, I will certainly attempt to answer them. Leroy and I have talked at length about this, and but he knows more about it than I do, but he would like me to speak on his behalf. So between the two of us, perhaps if you have questions, we can handle that.
Okay, Daryl, thank you. Leroy, you don't want to get up and say a few comments?
No, I'd be very happy if this proposal is approved.
Okay.
And I want to build a quality subdivision as promised in my
Objective.
I guess I'm lost for words.
Yep. For your plans. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So I want a nice subdivision that people can enjoy, and also that there's going to be park space for the children to play.
Yep.
And that's really what I want.
Thank you, Leroy. Okay, so we have Evan and Daryl. Daryl, thank you. Some questions from councillors. Do you want to go first, Councillor McKay?
Thank you, and thanks, Daryl, for presenting that tonight, for sure, and Leroy for being here. I want to start by saying the first I heard the application was at Planning Board, so I know the cookie cutter comment was to me, and what I meant when I understood was it was just going to be one designed home on these little lots, so that was clarified for me tonight. I'm sorry I used the word cookie cutter. I didn't quite know my vision of what was coming, because I knew Leroy does do good work. I mean, he has a beautiful subdivision for sure. I also did and still do have concerns with the amount of traffic being rerouted out onto McCrae Drive. You know, I'm trying to get my head around that. As of right now, it would still be the same, and there's not going to be a safe access to MacWilliams. But I did have concern initially, but I mean, I'm hearing tonight that residents are okay, and I've put it out to residents, and I haven't heard a whole lot of negative feedback, so that is a good thing. So again, I just wanted to clarify the cookie cutter comment and explain that, you know, the traffic thing, and I know planning did have a comment in the report to say that they wouldn't know with all the traffic being forced onto McCrae, it's hard to determine whether or not it's going to negatively impact McCrae. But we know that there's a lot of development out there, and I'm really hopeful that some of the safe trails and access will be developed anyway. Thank you, and thank you for the presentation.
If I could just add about the McCrae traffic, I mean, it is a concern because my house is on both roads. But, you know, Norwood is probably an option at some point down the road. And I'm hoping for that, but I mean, we can come out of the subdivision from the upper part down Parent as well if people are going the other way. I use various directions depending on where I'm going in town. I can't wait for the new roundabouts to be done at the end so I can at least turn left if I need to. But thanks.
Okay, any other questions from councillors or? Yeah. Okay, could we turn it to the public? Please use one of the two mics. The staff are here from the Charlottetown Hotel, and state your name and where you live, Charlottetown, Stratford, Cornwall, hopefully Charlottetown.
Kick it off. Hello, my name's Gordon Gay. I live on Parent Street, actually. I'm just up around there. My investment was already affected by a lamppost getting stuck right in my way to bring power to this subdivision. So it's like I used to have a beautiful view of the harbor. Now it's got a telephone pole going up there. Anyways, that's not everything in the world. I don't know, when you're talking about traffic coming down the road, you're talking an additional 91 cars minimum. Probably more like 182. Because 2 cars per driveway. That's a lot of traffic to come down that way, which I'm sure Parent Street's going to get affected by it as well. McCrae Drive is going to be a real issue because it's a busy road. Like you say, right now, he's right. You can't get anywhere other than going through MacWilliams. You can go through the back part of the airport area. However, that is closed in the wintertime. So I think that council really needs to consider what's going on here. This is a lot of traffic for a small neighborhood. The issue with the townhouses is, well, my mind is discriminatory, but anyways, that's how I'm going to view this point of view on that one. It's like I think everyone has the right. It's not going to be an affordable neighborhood for everybody, that's for sure. Never has been, I guess. But, I mean, the houses that have been built in there have been very nice. They really have been. There's no doubt about that. My opinion is the people who live right in Horseshoe, the integrity of their houses is being taken away by what's being added on to the other side with these small mini lots. And it's not going to be quite the same value that I can see. That's my opinion. I don't live on that street. I think the other thing City Council needs to consider is, I don't know about water sustainability. You guys have a lot of development going on all over the place. Water security's got to come across someone's mind. And if anybody reads the newspapers, we know our hospital's in trouble. So, I mean, they're having staffing issues. So you can bring in as many people as you want to this city, but there's issues that have to be dealt with at a much higher level. Anyways, that's all I'd like to say about it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gay, thank you for your comments, and thank you for the comment about the water. That's why we now have our wastewater treatment plant is working with Stratford, and hopefully at some point in time, we can look at sharing their water resources, and down the road, Cornwall working with our wastewater treatment plant and also sharing the water. You're exactly right. It's more people mean more uses or more demand on our infrastructure. Mics are open. Okay. Do we have any questions coming in, Ellen, from nothing? Okay. Again, I'm opening the floor up to councillors if they want clarification. This is the opportunity to ask for clarification from Evan or Daryl on the proposed development. Oh, Councillor Ramsey. Can you just turn on your mic there?
There you go.
Yeah.
Have you got a price on these homes and what they're going to be going for approximately? You know, you don't get to be dollar rate on, but thank you.
Leroy, what was it again? 450,000. Okay. Okay. So, Councillor Bernard, if you want to ask your question, Leroy, if again we're doing this for the reason for the mics. If Daryl, if Mr. McLeod wants to speak, and he can stay seated, it's a portable mic, and just take it over him, please. Is that all right, Leroy? If you want to answer, no. If you want to answer, Councillor Bernard.
Thank you. It's just a clarification. I'm just looking at the map, and I know the original entrance into Horseshoe. Is there a second entrance being proposed? Second entrance exit? Yeah.
Daryl, if you don't mind, please. We try to give service to our clients.
The second entrance is down on Parent Street. There's a-
Parent Street?
Yes,
Okay. So it loops around there now?
it loops around there now, yes.
Okay. So just on this map, on the area that we're talking about, it looked like it comes out here onto McCrae also, but it doesn't, does it, Leroy?
No,
That's a lot on McCrae, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Councillor
So as long as it has just two entrances, two exits.
McCabe.
Yeah, no, I just received an email and I said I would ask this question for her. So it says there's mention of parcel designated for recreational would be redesignated. What does this leave for green space? So Leroy, you had made a comment about the park space that would be there. Is there a designated space that you're planning for that?
Okay. Daryl, do you have a response to that?
I believe this area here, Leroy, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
And the green area as well.
And this already exists, correct? Yes. So, this red area here, so those two together. No, that's not the intention at all.
Do you want to ask? Okay. Councillor Bernard, do you want to clarify? And Daryl, if you want to stay there and...
Sure.
Sorry, can I just clarify something with the open space? So the open space that Leroy is proposing is currently zoned as R3T, and it will be up to the Parks and Recreation Department to determine what space that they do want in the end for the green space. So the applicant does intend to have the R3T, the one that's shown in red on the survey plan, but it will ultimately be up to Parks and Rec.
That's his hope, is that what?
Exactly.
Councillor Bernard, do you have a question?
Yeah, so the green space that's currently there now, that borders the school property, correct? Yes. Okay, so this would be in addition to it? Perfect, yep, great.
Yeah, you just took the right, Leroy. We're going to get that mic to you. We should attach one to you.
In the original plan, that red area was set aside for park.
For what?
The red area
Yeah.
right there was set aside for park. And that was at the request of the council at that time.
Yeah.
I wanted to have another park down in the lower area, and that was not approved for me to do that.
Okay. And Evan, it does work out to 10% of the actual size of this development, correct?
Yeah, it would meet the minimum requirements.
What's that?
It would meet the minimum requirements.
No, it's good. It's good to have lots of green space for a subdivision like that.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Just state your name and where you're from, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Hi, how's everyone doing? So my name's Justin Burt. I'm actually one of Leroy's neighbors, and we built a home on Horseshoe Boulevard 2 years ago. Reason that we did build the home is we have 2 small kids. It's a quiet neighborhood, you know, like can play out in the street. There's not much traffic. We're close to L&M school. We knew that there was covenants in the area. There was going to be that proposed green space park. And I just don't see a need for why there should be access from MacWilliams through the new subdivision. Like, as it is, you guys are putting in speed bumps throughout various neighborhoods, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Okay, and why?
Slow down the traffic.
Yeah, okay. So there's another access point for traffic to travel, right? Like another throughway?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so if you don't need to be in the subdivision, there's no point to go through there.
Can you just turn on your mic?
No, but was there not proposal of that, though?
There was originally, and then
Right.
now, from my understanding, and Evan, you can correct me, there is no longer, because of safety concerns presented by Public Works, there's no longer going to be an exit onto MacWilliams Road.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, same thing. We built a home there because of the covenants, nice quality homes that we don't want. Anyway, thanks.
Thank you. So just to clarify, Evan, there will be no access onto MacWilliams Road. Therefore, it will not allow traffic to go from MacWilliams Road through the subdivision over to McCrae Drive, correct?
Yes, as per the survey plan. Originally, the East Royalty Master Plan delineated a collector road. It proposed it to go through the property, which has resulted in the multiple zonings within the property. But Public Works has determined that that's not feasible anymore because of a potential offset intersection on MacWilliams. So that road is no longer feasible.
Okay, Justin? Okay. Again, the mic is open. You're okay, Mr. Billard? Okay. Okay, I'm just going to ask for the last time. Any questions, concerns? Please come to the mic. Now, you will have an opportunity, correct, Mr. Forbes, Ellen, to provide comments. Just email to planning@charlottetown.ca until when? Tomorrow, yeah. And if they do come in late, Ellen will scrutinize them and forward them on. Thank you, Darrell. Thank you, Leroy. Thank you for all coming. And I need adjournment to moved by Councillor McLeod, second by Councillor McCabe. All in favor? Thank you very much. Have a great evening.